Welcome to this explainer. Okay, today we're literally diving deep underground to explore the hidden battle raging between nature and your home's infrastructure. We're going to use Hillview, Kentucky as our perfect microcosm to uncover exactly what's happening just beneath the surface, day in and day out.
So, if I were to ask you right now, what's the absolute biggest enemy of your home's plumbing? You'd probably think, rust or maybe just plain old age. But as we'll see today, the true enemy is quite literally the ground right beneath your feet. All right, let's map out our journey. We're going to cover nature versus your plumbing, the anatomy of pipe failures, the evolution of pipe materials, how professional plumbers actually operate, and wrap up with some plumbing myths and money.
Section 1. Nature versus your plumbing.
You see, local geology is actually waging this hidden war on man-made infrastructure. In places like Hillview and Bullitt County, they've got this stuff called karst limestone. And this isn't your typical solid, stable rock. It's a geological formation that literally dissolves over time. And as it dissolves, it creates these massive voids and sinkholes right under the surface. This shifting ground totally stresses pipe connections, snaps aging clay sewer lines right in half, and creates these sagging low spots where drains just trap debris. The ground itself is literally moving.
But it's not just the earth. Climate attacks from two completely different fronts. First up, you've got rapid freezes. Around here, temperatures can just plummet below freezing overnight, catching everyone completely off guard and bursting exterior hose bibs or crawl space lines in an absolute instant. Contrast that with a much slower, sneakier threat: hard water. The local water supply has moderate hardness levels that silently, almost invisibly, cause mineral buildup inside your water heaters and valves.
Moving on to Section 2, Anatomy of Pipe Failures.
Let's look at how this chain reaction actually plays out. Hard water enters your system, right? Then mineral sediment slowly starts to accumulate. Over time, the bottom of your tank fills entirely with this buildup, which totally wrecks your heating efficiency. Eventually, you might start hearing these really unsettling, rumbling noises coming from your utility closet. And finally, the tank just corrodes and fails entirely. It's a fascinating, if incredibly destructive, domino effect that happens completely out of sight.
And nature fights back from above too. Tree roots will actively seek out the moisture and nutrients hiding inside older, porous clay sewer lines. They creep right in through the pipe joints, forming these incredibly dense, tangled masses that trap debris and cause severe, recurring sewer backups right into people's homes. It's basically a relentless biological attack on your infrastructure.
All right, Section 3, the evolution of pipe materials.
Here we can clearly see the old guard versus the new. Retired materials like lead, obviously a massive water contamination risk, along with polybutylene and galvanized steel, are just notorious for internal corrosion and premature failure. Modern champions, on the other hand, things like PEX, PVC, and ABS, they give us the durability, flexibility, and root resistance we actually need to survive that shifting karst limestone.
Interestingly enough, all this material evolution is governed by super strict codes, which totally busts some common myths. Have you ever heard of the 13-degree rule? Yeah, it's a complete myth. Literally doesn't exist in Kentucky building codes. Real plumbing relies on precise engineering. For instance, maintaining an exact 1/4-inch drop per foot for your drainage slope just to ensure gravity does its job properly.
Which brings us to Section 4, how professional plumbers operate. When things go wrong, the operational playbook of a modern plumber follows a really strict, efficient 3-step process to stop the damage and restore order. First, the call for service, prioritizing emergency dispatch. Second, proper diagnosis and getting your approval. And third, the actual completion of the work, backed by a solid warranty. An absolutely critical part of this playbook is that second step, diagnosis and upfront pricing. Reputable professionals use advanced tech like video inspections or thermal imaging to find the actual root cause. Then, they secure your upfront approval before a single wrench is even turned. You know the exact cost, with zero surprise hourly charges at the end.
Finally, Section 5, Plumbing Myths and Money.
Now, you might be totally shocked to learn just how lucrative this trade can be. Experienced master plumbers who own their own commercial service operations, they can earn upwards of $300,000 a year. Seriously, that's on par with medical specialists and corporate executives. It really just proves how highly valued this specialized expertise is in the market.
But we definitely need to clarify a huge difference that confuses a lot of homeowners: the hourly billing rate versus the actual plumber's wage.
A plumbing company might bill you, say, $150 an hour, but the technician standing right there in your kitchen is usually earning between $30 and $50 an hour. That massive difference? It goes entirely to business overhead. Think insurance, fully stocked trucks, specialized tools, and all those licensing fees.
And hey, if you've ever stood at your front door awkwardly wondering if you should hand over a $20 bill, the rule of thumb is super simple. You do not need to tip plumbers. These are highly skilled, licensed professionals earning professional rates. Now, tips are for sure appreciated for exceptional middle-of-the-night emergency service, but they're never, ever expected.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a slightly unsettling question to think about. Are the pipes hidden inside your own walls, secretly losing their battle with nature right now? Are roots creeping in, or is sediment silently building up? It truly makes you appreciate the unseen infrastructure keeping our modern lives flowing and the pros who maintain it. Thanks for joining me. Keep your curiosity flowing, and I'll catch you on the next one.